proper ordering of the family. And this is where, so in fact, this Bunny Wilson had the quote, is that she made the quote that next to salvation, submission is probably the highest form of trust that we can demonstrate. Because when we submit that decision-making process, we yield to someone else, we have to trust that they're going to make a right or a good decision, or that it's not going to harm you in some way if I yield or submit. And so when the wife submits to a husband that is not being led by the Lord or is not taking his responsibilities correctly, we have to realize it is a spiritual matter. Yes, there's consequences because of that decision. Maybe you lose money, he wants to invest something, I don't know, and there's physical consequences to that. But submission is primarily a spiritual attitude, a spiritual matter to God. God can work out all the details. That's no problem for him. What God doesn't force upon us is us to change our own attitudes to align with his will for us. And he clearly states that this is the way he wants wives to relate to their husband, is to submit to that role. So even if the husband makes a wrong decision, God can handle that. God can change it later on or override the decision. He has many ways he can do that. But he's probably not going to come in and force you to submit to that husband in any given situation. That is an act of the will and a devotion to God to do that. It's a spiritual matter because he even says, submit yourselves as unto the Lord. He even tells wives in this command why you're doing it. Because you're doing it because it's just like you're doing it to the Lord. You're submitting to your husband, but it's really an act of devotion to God. If the wife refuses God's design, she is in rebellion against God. And as the husband is refusing to assume the leadership in love. So when you get into this situation where the husband's not fulfilling his role of leadership, we don't want to compound the issue by the wife refusing and being in rebellion to God in that responsibility. And so it doesn't make it okay in one case to rebel against God's command. Submission doesn't limit freedom.